Hi everyone, welcome to our third question and answer. We're a little bit like a minute early, but that's okay. Yeah, we've had a weird week this week because our live video or our regular podcast hasn't been getting viewed as much as it normally does. So I'm going to take the opportunity to say go up right here. There's a button and it's a YouTube video for our podcast. I liked our podcast this week. I thought it would spark a lot more conversation than it did. No surprise.
I think if people actually listen to it, it might spark conversation.
Yeah.
That might be the problem.
You have to listen to it first, and then it could spark conversation. My head is really shiny.
You're okay. You need makeup. We need to makeup before we get
make
on.
my nose get really big.
Stop it. People don't want to see that.
So we have a few questions from the week. Ones that we asked you all, and ones that we'll ask each other. Starting with the earliest to the most recent, or the latest to the most recent. I don't know. And Bethany joined. Good. So here, first one. First favorite wedding memory. You go first.
I think my veil fell off. That was pretty funny. I was scratching my hair and it fell off. Your grandpa was funny. He made it memorable.
Do you think he tried?
No, I think he was
I think he wasn't feeling good actually that day.
Oh, well, he did fine.
Short and sweet. That is what it was.
It was. Like, even our guests were like, that's it?
That's it?
Okay.
They were all really happy about it. Like, I wish our wedding was that short. Like, yeah.
I didn't think it was funny at the reception. You really wanted to go.
Yeah, I was ready to be done for obvious reasons.
Wedding night.
Wedding night, yeah. Yeah, I do distinctly remember that. It was so short and it was so long ago, and not a lot of people were there, that there's not a whole lot of wedding memories I have, except for the distinct ones that kind of everybody, like you walking down the aisle, and I think my finger was too big for the ring, and you had a hard time putting it on, stuff like that.
I twisted it.
Yeah.
But I got it on.
But those were things that I mean, it was a short wedding. We didn't build a whole lot of memories in that wedding,
True. We didn't put a whole lot of money into that wedding. We got married. You called me up, said you were deploying, and then I talked to you the next day. I'm like, we're going to get married next weekend when you come up.
Yeah. No, yeah, I said...
Then we put in the wedding in like 10 days.
I think when I called you, I told you I was going to an infantry unit, and I knew it was going to be quick. I said, I don't know when I'm deploying, but I will be deploying, because it's with an infantry unit.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I was actually surprised that it was actually going to be, 5 months after we got married?
No, you left in September.
We got married in May.
Yeah.
Oh, May, June, July, August,
May
September.
doesn't count. June, July, August, September. So 4 months.
So really, you're going to correct me on 4 months?
I am. I'm live.
I was a month off. God. Try being married to this. No.
I think I'm normal.
I
want you to be correct.
I am correct. I'm just not spot on, absolutely perfect.
When it comes to numbers, you should be correct because numbers are absolute.
Yeah, numbers are important. What's your favorite thing your spouse cooks or bakes?
I love your omelets. They're so yummy.
I did pretty good with mac and cheese tonight.
You really did. He came home and offered to make macaroni and cheese for me.
Yeah.
The good kind, out of the blue box.
Yeah, but it wasn't about whether it was the good kind or not. It was about... I don't know.
That's what Sunny calls it.
Thing.
That's what our youngest calls it, the good kind. She doesn't like my homemade. She wanted me to make the
baked macaroni and cheese.
She wants the good kind from the blue box, and I was like, really?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be you watching us tonight.
Might be. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm hilarious, so I'll watch
my
me
omelets
again.
are good, but it's such a pain. It takes so long.
I know when you make a mess, and
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
and I clean it up.
Favorite thing you cook or bake? I like a lot of the stuff you make for dinner. I like a lot of their dinners that don't include vegetables, which we talk about in our podcast, and you would know this if you all watched it. But none of you guys are watching this either, so who cares? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he got snarky.
All right. Awkward.
You're making it more awkward by saying awkward. You're not making it better.
Okay, go ahead. What? Name it.
I like your chili.
I knew that.
Hey, I'm not saying this for you. I'm saying it for them. I like when you make cheesecake. I like bacon, egg, and cheese bagels. I know those are really easy, but I like them a lot. So when you make them, I'm happy when you make them.
Do you remember when you used to tell me that I made the best bacon, egg, and cheese bagels, and then you would tell your sister that she made the best bacon, egg, and cheese bagels, just so that we would make them, and then one day we collaborated stories. We were like,
wait a minute. Yeah. Didn't stop. You still made them for me. Yeah, because that's how I work. Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I liked your buffalo chicken meatloaf. There's a lot of things you make that I always come back and get seconds for. So, your spicy ramen.
That's good.
Which is mentioned in our first podcast, and you all would know this if you watched them.
Listen, podcasts, you listen.
Yeah. Well, no, we watched them. We have a YouTube.
Oh, fancy ramen. It exists.
Fancy
I make
ramen.
it.
Yeah, did we make a video for our first podcast? Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I can do a lot of stuff.
Great example of a married couple.
You go first.
Okay, my grandma and grandpa Rose. For me, I only knew the good story, and I knew their life and their ministry and how they talked to each other and how they acted to each other. My Aunt Linda and Uncle Brad were also a really good one for me. Growing up, I got to see that regularly. So yeah, those are the two. And, just in every one of those relationships, there was always a lot of humor, always a lot of laughing, always a lot of that type of relationship. It's kind of the thing I like to mirror to. Always being kind of lighthearted and fun, but genuine and real with each other. Yeah, none of that fake, hokey type of, I don't know what to call it, romantic type stuff. It was all just real, genuine kind of relationships. What about you?
We talked about this earlier. I think my grandparents, both sets, just the longevity, they make it work,
One thing about your grandma and grandpa on your dad's side, I just, some of the things, that little book that your grandfather did with the teddy bear and stuff, he just liked to play jokes with your grandmother.
He had a teddy bear that he would just set up around the house, like before Elf on the Shelf, it was his teddy bear, and so my grandma took pictures, and they liked showing
I'm short.
She liked to show us the album whenever we came to visit and stuff, and she always got a big kick out of it, so... and then the Moffats, they were a couple that took me to church and stuff when I was a little kid, and just seeing a good Christian role model marriage definitely helped pave the way.
Yeah. Do you think anybody noticed that we're wearing Christmas colors?
No, but we are, and we did it on purpose.
Do you want to know why nobody could have noticed? It's only you.
Hey, one person's watching.
Matt's watching. Hi, Matt. Yeah, that's why nobody can notice, because up until now, nobody's watching. Yeah, so... a lot of great
We were
examples.
paid a good compliment this week.
Really? By whom?
Sunny's old teacher, Miss Gladys, said that she could tell we had a good relationship. She liked how we laughed a lot.
Yeah, and there's another lady at church that says, I'm gonna share everything you guys do. The cat.
Oh, that's the cat upstairs.
Yeah, if y'all, I doubt anybody hears it, but if y'all hear that banging in the background, our cat's trying to get in the cupboard so we can get food.
He is fed. He's a fat cat.
He's
He ran
ridiculous.
out of food. We need to find a different space for him. Okay, next question.
No, there's another lady at church that said, you better make sure that you want your videos shared, because I really like you guys a lot and I'm sharing them all.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Okay. I think we're funny, so.
Best advice to a young couple?
You can go ahead.
No.
Oh.
You go.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
Michelle's joining again. Hi, Michelle.
Hey.
Everybody's catching us at the end of our videos.
That's okay. They can go back and watch. Best advice to a young married couple or somebody getting ready to get married, as I would say, choose your battles. Okay. Let me explain. I get annoyed easily.
Do you learn from your mistakes?
I'm a little hot-headed, and I'm better.
Did you wish somebody told you this when you were getting married?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not everything needs to be an argument like it is right now. For instance.
I'm sitting on a stool. Don't push me. I'll fall. Don't hurt me. Don't hit me.
I had to hit you. For example, we've been married for 12 years. In May, after like 7 or 8, I kind of gave up telling him to put his flippity floppity clothes and socks in a hamper. It's not going to happen. I dig out his dirty clothes from under our bed, couch cushions, under the couch, underneath the coffee table, behind the hamper, in front, on the side, squished into like the handle.
You don't sound like you're choosing your battles right now. You know what? I'm like a squirrel, but instead of like shiny objects,
it sucks.
I do things with my
rolled
clothes.
into each other, so when I unroll them, they're crusty.
But
anyways, I don't bring it up anymore unless I'm asked about this.
I've seen a lot of advice about always be willing to surprise your spouse. So I like to hide little things and surprise you.
Crusty socks is not a good surprise.
Surprise! The couch cushions have socks on. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think about it.
Oh no, I think we argue a lot less.
I think there's a lot of people, I think that's like almost a cliche of people. Like, I think a lot of people, yeah, see? I agree with Matthew. Yeah, I agree with Matthew. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
You're not supposed to take his side.
I think that's a continual thing that a lot of women complain about. Like, about their husbands. I don't know if that's just a natural thing.
That was just my example. It is a fairly recent annoyance.
You're like, that's just one of the many things I've chosen not to talk about.
Not to mention because I choose my battles wisely, okay?
I think
no, I think I am a lot. You're so too. We both decided, chose to be less argumentative, chose to kind of things.
I think just in general, I'm an argumentative person.
No, it's just you, Micah.
I think there's a lot of things that personally I was very argumentative, but I had to stop arguing about everything, and not so much choosing my battles, but saying, you know what, unless it's like on the spot or, you know, I can't help it, then I'm just going to let things go and not argue so much. So, yeah, choosing your battles is probably good advice for young couples or any couple, even with your kids. I figured, like with Sunny being the way she is, as strong-willed as she is, she's the only one of our children that I really have to genuinely choose
what I'm going to fight about, because otherwise everything is a fight.
Well, even yesterday she made her own English muffin. And she's making an English muffin. Egg McMuffin. McDonald's breakfast. You always got it on my mind. Look at all these people. See, this is why we need to be on live longer. Because more people come at the end than at the beginning.
I don't think we're as exciting as you think we are.
I think I'm awesome, and I don't care I don't care what you think. So our kids. So Sunny made English muffin, and she wanted a honey and peanut butter English muffin. And she didn't want to ask us to make it, so she was trying to make it herself.
She knew we'd probably say no because dinner was going to be ready very soon.
Yeah, and she was only 4. So she took you know how most people have to cut them in half, but she didn't cut it because she didn't realize that. And she just poured honey on top of it on the table without a plate or anything. And so instead of getting upset, oh, sorry, Matt, see you later. Have a nice Christmas too. Instead of getting upset with her about making the mess or doing any of that stuff, I decided that, you know, I just teach her how to make the English muffin the right way and give it to her.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those things we had to learn with Sunny, is just not everything is something you need to discipline her about.
Yeah.
Kind of off topic. But, you know, choose your battles. I think that's not just for young couples, but that's for everybody. My best advice for young couples and not even married or just in the dating phase is, for me personally, I think for a lot of guys, not necessarily for women, but for guys, I always made it a rule about the time I started thinking about going out with girls, is I wasn't going to be the one that was going to break up. I was going to try and make it work. And I was going to always try and do what I could to make sure that everything worked out. And if they were going to break up, they would have to break up with me. It wouldn't be the other way around.
So I'm stuck with you because...
Yeah, because I said I would, no matter what happens, I'm not going to be the one that breaks. She will not break me. I'm gonna keep going and going.
Micah!
No, but I mean, it wasn't that hard, obviously. But you're with me, and it seems interesting that you're with me because the other two girls I was dating, they broke up with me. I didn't break up with them. But when we started dating, I said, you know what, it doesn't matter what kind of things we're going through, unless they're obvious things like cheating or stuff like that. I'm not going to break up with you.
Murder.
Well, if you love somebody enough, you might be
You
able
be my person?
Yeah, I'll hide the body for you. That's what, in the Marine Corps, that's what they always said. If you do this, or this, even if you kill somebody, just call me first. I don't care what happens, just call me first. I guess your chain of command doesn't want to be...
talk?
Yeah, it doesn't want to be surprised by the dead hooker. They want to know about it before anybody else. Like, what are you going to help me in this situation? Like, this is a bad situation in general. So...
I got tears in my eyes. The dead hooker. It's awful. I don't know why I'm laughing. Okay.
That's a stereotype. That they said that phrase exactly. I was trying to avoid saying it until I said it. But that's exactly the same.
Well, you're in the military for...
I think and 29 Palms, the two places combined.
Oh, the desert.
They say, well, we'll help you bury the body or whatever. So you're like, okay, cool.
Intense.
Yeah, so...
Awkward.
Yeah, so obviously we posted these questions on Facebook. I'm hoping that you all had answered them. If you hadn't answered them, feel free to answer them on the video. If you haven't seen our podcast yet this week, I feel like it's a really good one. Of course, I don't say all of them are really good. I just think this one was really good, specifically because we're talking about priorities in marriage, and that's a big thing for advice to young couples too. Turkey bacon, which is an inexhaustible subject. I could talk about turkey bacon and the evils of turkey bacon all day long. And we talked about education, homeschool, private school, public school, and why we do what we do. Austin. You know what, Austin? I'm mad at you right now. He asked us if we regularly change our smoke alarm detectors. First of all, we only have a couple smoke alarms in our house, and one is in my dad's room.
And you change it and it still
beeps. But I'm mad at you because I don't notice it. I live here for months and years.
You change the battery though and it still beeps.
I won't notice it until somebody says something.
It lets us know when things are going off, but...
And as soon as somebody says something, I'm stuck.
And now I'm going to hear it for the next day. Thanks.
Yeah. It is kind of annoying. It has to be when they're sitting there and all of a sudden they hear this high pitch like beep. Like, that's really high pitched and kind of...
Sorry.
And we're filming today from our kitchen. So the first podcast was... Yeah, thanks. The first podcast was in our bedroom.
Curtains.
Yeah, the other... Well, we don't want to show you the messy side of our kitchen. Just the curtain side.
Dinner yet.
Turkey bacon is awesome. No, it definitely is not. And if you listen to our podcast, I'll give you all the reasons why not during the podcast. But it's gross. And it doesn't even... It's not bacon. You can't... Bacon is pork. You can't put a name in front of it and call it bacon.
Listen,
Canadian bacon is ham.
You're coming over on Saturday. You can get the full rant then.
Yeah. Or just listen to the podcast and now we'll go over it again. Yeah. We also talk about education, and I think that's a really good topic because today, especially with a couple who's going into ministry, a lot of pastors' wives, they homeschool their kids, they put their kids in private school. We take a very unique approach with our kids. I heard the beep again. So
Austin, thanks.
Yeah.
What do we know what we're talking about this next week coming up? We've talked about some things.
Talked about a few things.
Maybe.
I don't know. See, I don't know what I want to really... Do you know what you really want to talk about this week?
I'll narrow it down by tomorrow, I'm sure.
Yeah, because we're recording tomorrow. So, also, if you have questions or comments or complaints or additions... Yeah, about our marriage... And maybe you want to comment and send us some ideas for tomorrow's podcast. Or maybe there's some articles that you all see because you're on Facebook more than we are. I don't know. Maybe you don't have a life. That was one of the things we were going to talk about. We both work. We were going to talk about how we work. And how we manage that. And I'm a full-time college student. And we have 3 kids. Yeah. And we're busy people. And we still... Yeah, so... That was one of the things... Obviously, they have a lot of time on their hands if they're watching our stuff. Obviously. And especially on Facebook. So... If you find stuff that you think that we might want to talk about, Also, I want to mention this. A lot more women watch our podcast than men. So if you're a wife, tell your husbands to stop being so snooty and watch our podcast too. I know I'm not talking about football because she doesn't watch football. I know I'm not talking about politics because
We don't want to talk about it too much.
I don't want to talk about it,
I feel
period.
like we're kind of one-sided.
I think we're too close together in this video.
I like
keep
it.
flinching because I think
like-
you're going to slap me in the
I
face.
never hit him. I don't.
Oh, do you know what's great is you don't have your bracelets on.
No, I don't. I took them off.
Really annoying when we're recording.
I'm wearing a sweater, so
Now all you can do is just clap whenever you want to say something and it gets funny. Okay, well, thanks for watching. We did about 20 minutes today on our live video. Thank you for contributing and continue to contribute. And Forrest, man, right as we were finishing, man, every time.
he's probably working. Cut him some slack.
Well, see, here's the deal. Bethany is not convinced that we need to make these videos longer for live videos. She thinks our podcast is too long, and she thinks our videos are too long. So I'm trying to convince her that the videos can be long and the podcast can be short. But she doesn't like sitting with me for too long. So it is what it is.
We gotta go.
Plus, one of our kids is crying. So we have to deal with our kids. Yeah, 1 hour. See, that's what I said, but she doesn't
I can't. Sunny's screaming right now. We have
about
to get off
nothing.
and
So,
go take care
so
of that.
we could do that live. Do you guys want to come with us and try and handle our kid?
No.
It should be really, really fun. Yeah.
Aw.
If we get 2 people that say they want us to deal with Sunny live, then we'll do it.
No. No, we're not. That's not happening. Okay, we're gonna go. Bye.